Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UK Live 19. Well, here we are, guys. UK Live 19 has been a fantastic 3 days. Obviously, we're going to speak to the guys and get their key highlights and their takeaways, importantly, of what they're going to do when they get back into the business. Let's take a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, here with one Nathan Best. Paul, welcome to Live TV. Lisa, come here. Come here. Lisa, welcome. Hi, Claire, how are you?
Hi,
Come here. Don't bite. So, ladies and gentlemen, here with Tom Wright. This is the moment that you've been waiting for. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here with Matt Orchard. Ladies and gentlemen, here with James Gillard. Oh, Miss Parkins, come here. This is the centre here. I talk about one of the veterans of the... Wait, no, over here. Where are you going? Over here. There we go. Right here. Talk about one of the veterans of the business. Natalie, this is a real treat. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Shoemake. How are you, Gary?
I'm really good, thank you.
I'm better now that you're here, let me tell you. And Nathan, it's been a fantastic 3 days here at Live 19. Very rich content. Fantastic group of people. The question needs to be asked, what's been your highlight? And I'll even give you two, given you're the commercial director.
Thanks very much, Elvin. For me, the highlight is basically the engagement. I think the engagement across the 3 days has been phenomenal. I'm really impressed with the way people were able to take a step out of their day job and really invest time into bringing this event to life.
The key highlight has been how we've all come together. Loads of the people in the room are really new, never worked here before, and we all came together as one team and in a really safe space to call out things that were bad, but also to realise the achievements that we have done already so far in 2018, looking into 2019.
Probably just being able to get everyone together in one room. As a few people said in the room over the last 3 days, it's not something we do very often, but when we do, so much comes out of it, and it's almost like by the end of each day you're absolutely shattered. But that's only through so much food for thought.
What an incredible event. What an incredible series of events. What an amazing group of people that we have in this organisation. I feel completely humbled and inspired coming back from this, I'll be honest. Seeing the pennies drop for people, seeing the connections that they're making, both in terms of relationships, the connections with their own values, the connections with their work. It's fascinating. And you look at the challenges that we have ahead as an organisation, and you see the people in the room and think, yeah, we're set for this. It's going to be tough, but we're going to get through this.
Really well said.
My key highlight is to actually understand where we sit in the Finabler group, and actually we're all part of one massive group and therefore need to be one big team.
Yeah. I think for me, definitely understanding more about Finabler. It's such a large group that we're part of, and lack of realisation on that. For someone who's not been at the organisation for very long, it's really exciting to understand the technology that's available. So yeah, that was great.
It's just been brilliant, all getting together in a room and really understanding the breadth and depth of Finabler, the group, the different entities, the companies that make it up, and what's to come. It's very exciting.
I think my highlight is a couple of things. Understanding the Finabler group, where we fit in, and all of the collaboration between the teams that we need to do, but also the fact that actually we need to go and do that now.
I just think how we've come together as a team, learning a lot more about the group and Finabler. The key word for me is just opportunity. Opportunity that we have as a group, the opportunities that we're doing Travelex, what we have as a team, but also from a personal perspective as well, the opportunities I have as a leader to grow, develop, and make a difference to the organisation.
Highlight, I think, for me is the importance of conversations and how, as Dylan talked us through from the academic point of view, conversations ultimately drive culture. So,
come Monday, obviously there's a long list of things that we've taken away. What's that number one thing on the top of your list that you go, yep, I've got to do that first?
I think that's a really important point. I think it's just taking that time to reflect first and foremost, kind of just prioritise. But the key takeaway for me is not for me to go back, shut myself in an office and do it on my own. It's to co-create with my team, ask what they need, how they are going to change, what they need support, and just take that whole concept of just co-creation and do it together to come up with a plan as to how we're going to achieve the balanced scorecard for this year.
Beautifully said. I mean, listen, we've got a pretty rich history of locking ourselves in the room and trying to come up with the answers by ourselves, right? So to hear that, that's how we win in this game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think you're right. We're all heads down. We all kind of task focused. I think just taking that time to just have 10, 15 minutes. But, you know, there's loads of expertise across the business. And I don't think we leverage that enough by literally going out, not just within my team, but also for the support and enabling teams about, you know, what do they need? How can we co-create just a culture that is going to deliver everything that we need to, and just make it a great place to work, as it always is within Travelex.
And the fact that we actually are on this co-creation journey, I think that's something that really resonated. I thought I was just coming here to learn, didn't realise that actually we're not. We're all here to create.
People and culture make up everything. I mean, and we talk about it, but it was just so empowering to see that it was such a core part of the last 3 days. We've got to make sure that those values are really clear, they're driven and they're lived throughout the whole team and throughout the business.
Going back and reassessing our culture, so that was a big thing that we talked about this morning and yesterday during day 2, and for me thinking about how it currently looks and where we need to get to. I know we've done a lot of work on that in the last 2 days, but it's personally what I can do to support Nathan and his SLT and the rest of the leaders in the room, and how we can do that and change that.
The key takeaway is how important our people are, which is how important my team are to this business, and all the messages we've got about we're a part of a bigger Finabler group. We have lots of things and projects to deliver. We're so important, but that won't be delivered through just me and the people in that room. It's my team back in the office.
There's a long list of things that we've all taken away from here, but what's that number one thing on your list about, yep, I've got to focus on delivering that come Monday morning?
Oh, blimey, that's a just love that in there. Focus from my point of view is probably storytelling around Oreo. I'll pick that off. Obviously a big program impacting our UK business, and we just need to make sure everyone's aligned.
For me, it's sharing experience and learning and being able to challenge. For me, I think I've learned a lot about myself, about what this organisation really stands for, and sharing the Finabler belief and making my team, aware of just how big, an organisation we're part of. We're part of a much bigger picture, and it's really exciting.
I think the one thing is the 10-minute coaching piece we did today. That's awesome. But I think also is just to share with my team, it's quite a large team, actually exactly where they sit in this great big team and organisation.
Priority for me is the dissemination of this information to my team. 100%. Everyone needs to know about this, right? It's so exciting. So yeah, key for me is telling my team, what's been going on these last 3 days and what does it mean to them.
I'm going to say it's one thing, and it is as simple as this. This event, if it finishes on the last day, then we failed. The only thing that matters is that the insights that every single individual takes from the live events that they've had, that they can put, even if it's 1, 2, 3 individual things, they put those into action, then this has been worthwhile. Otherwise, it's just been an indulgence.
Absolutely. Paul, you've done an amazing job here for the 3 days. Thank you so much, mate. What's going to be your key takeaway? Come back to work on a Monday morning. You've got a list of things that you've got to put in play, but what's on the top of your list, Nath?
For me, of it is making sure that we take the 3-day event and take that back to the workplace. So I really want to ensure that through my direct reports and their direct reports, that we cascade this all the way through to the front line, so that everyone is fully aware as to what's key for the UK this year and what we need to execute against.
Beautifully said, and really important, right? Let's not make this the world's best kept secret, right?
No, absolutely. For me, this is around ensuring that over the next 4-6 weeks we truly engage and reaffirm what's important to the UK Geo. So come the end of this year, and when we go into live 2020, we look back and say, yep, the UK achieved its key balanced scorecards and made a significant contribution to the Finabler group.
Fantastic. Nathan, always a pleasure to see you, mate. Well, there we go, guys. Fantastic to hear the great stuff that the guys are going to be doing when they get back into the business. It's all about how do we live live well beyond just these offsites, right? And this is about implementation. This is about cascading that information. And it's about co-creating and bringing people along the journey of what live stands for. And that's around leadership, innovation, values, and the execution. If we do that right, the balanced scorecards of 2019 will be a breeze. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this episode. Look forward to seeing you next time. But until then, take care.